Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and we are on site today in beautiful, sunny Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, just outside of the Compass Cove Resort. Now, in today's video, I'm going to take you into a gorgeous one-bedroom, not true oceanfront, not true ocean view unit, but yes, it is breaking the rules and making over $60,000 a year for the last 2 years in gross rental income. You heard me correctly. Last year, it made $61,000, a one-bedroom, not oceanfront, not ocean view. Now, we're going to take a tour of the condo. It's going to be absolutely stunning and gorgeous. We're also going to hop into a profit and loss statement for both a cash scenario purchase and a financing scenario purchase. We're going to talk about the gross rental income, all of your operating expenses, and your profit and loss so that you know how to own and operate a short-term vacation rental oceanfront condo in our market. We'll dive into the appreciation. How much money can you make if you buy low, remodel, and sell high over a 10-year hold? Very valuable information. We'll talk about depreciation, just how much you can write off on your taxes, of course, cost segregation studies, and accelerating some of that depreciation. And we'll also hop into the gross rental income numbers of other units and how they did right here at the Compass Cove Resort. Now, you got to watch the video through to the end because I have chocked it full of all of the information that you need to be a savvy Myrtle Beach oceanfront condo investor. Guys, I don't want you to make those amateur pitfall mistakes that many first-time investors make. I hear it all the time. HOA fees are too high. Do I buy an oceanfront or an ocean view? You should hear the pitfalls that first-time investors make. I want you to win, guys, and I want you to win really, really big. So I've chocked this video full of everything that you need, including some clips from investor interviews like Matt Freeze, who owns 11 oceanfront condos. Yes, he sold his primary residence and moved his family into an apartment to buy his first oceanfront condo. Yes, he did clear $1.4 million in profit on 8 of his oceanfront condos over an 8-year period. I also interviewed Gosha Cook, a much more conservative investor who buys her properties primarily cash, very different from Matt, who is a lender. He's a lot riskier. But Gosha Cook drops golden nuggets of truth on us in her interview. Man, you don't want to miss it. And finally, I interview Rufia Nigro. She owns 27 oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, but lives in Florida. Why would she do that? Well, you got to watch the investor interviews playlist to find out. It will equip you to be a savvy oceanfront condo investor. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please drop me comments. I'll do my best to respond to all of them. I don't want to hold us up. Let's get into the video now. You'd like to invest in an oceanfront condo at a beach resort. I'd like to show you how they make profit and break down all their expenses so you understand how they operate, how they appreciate over time, and how to choose the right property manager for your goals. I'd also like to let you know what your HOA includes, how the location best services the tourist booking your unit, how your tourist can navigate the area to the best attractions, restaurants, and local events. I'd like to give you a market report on the resort that you're checking out today so that you make savvy investment decisions. And if you stay tuned until the end, I'll show you my top picks for the units that have appreciated the most in our market or generated the most gross rental income. So no matter if you're a first-time investor, a seasoned professional transitioning into the real estate game, or simply a casual investor who wants to buy an oceanfront condo to rent out while you're not using it for vacation. Whether you've got 15% to pay down because you're financing or you're a cash buyer, if it's an oceanfront condo you're after, you'll be better because I'm aiming to give you a 10 times return on your time for watching this video to the end. All right, guys, we're standing just outside of Compass Cove Resort, as you can see with that sign right there. Yes, there are multiple buildings out here. I think there are 3 different buildings. This right here is the registration building. It's kind of in the middle. Then you got another big tower right here. Absolutely. And then next door you have the Holiday Sands South. You can kind of see the name right there. And then, of course, you do have the, let's see how they call it now. They've changed the name a few times. I know it's the Holiday Sands, but it might be the Holiday Sands North. They call it something different. I forgot exactly. On a little bit further down, I'm pretty sure you have a hotel. And let's just see what's down the other way. All right, we got the Paradise Resort. That's that blue building right there. And then you got the Grand Atlantic, which is that building right there. So that pretty much sums it up. Now, there is a parking deck, as you can see, right here for the Compass Cove. There is another parking deck just underneath right here for the Compass Cove. And, of course, some on-site amenities. Let's get into that registration office and check it out. Now, guys, Matt Freese, in his investor interview, dropped a bomb on us. April through September is peak season. Peak of the peak, June, July, and August. You should make enough money on your oceanfront condo to pay all of the operating expenses, including the principal and interest, for the entire year. The other 9 months are pure profit. You got to watch that interview. Now, guys, oh, there we go. They redid everything in here, and it is absolutely stunning. Look at this registration office. Beautiful flooring, as you can see. Really cool light fixtures. It is gorgeous. And of course, Compass Cove. Cool little map of Myrtle Beach. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. All right, guys, let's get in unit 1471 right here at the Compass Cove Resort. Guys, as soon as we walk in, you can see here an absolutely stunning moneymaker. Look at that bathroom. Nice poppy colors, tub shower combo, tile flooring in the wet areas, of course, as you can see here. We're going to go in the first bedroom, LVP flooring. Look at that. Absolutely stunning closet. Got your balcony here. The master connects to the balcony. It's the decor and the design in this unit that make it pop. This is what the market wants, to the tune of over $60,000 a year for a one-bedroom, one-bathroom right here at the Compass Cove. For the last 2 years. Check that out. You got your washer-dryer combo. You got some nice poppy colors. Nice granite, nice sink, stove, microwave, refrigerator, little coffee station area, LVP flooring. Got the Murphy bed. Look at the cool accent wall. Again, popping colors that stop people from scrolling on Airbnb. Floor to ceiling windows. Look at the value proposition. You got a nice flat screen on an accent wall. Absolutely stunning. But the floor to ceiling windows you don't typically see in one bedroom units. Let's unlock this. It is a unique value proposition. And it does have a massive and expansive balcony. As you can see, down below, Ocean Boulevard. Nice big wraparound balcony. It's technically an ocean view / ocean front. Check that out. Plenty of space on this balcony. This is what over $60,000 a year in gross rental income for a one-bedroom unit looks like. In this video, I've shown you the resort, explained the property, and given you a walkthrough of the property. But next, I'll cover the accommodations and amenities offered by the resort and give you a walkthrough of the amenities so you can see why tourists choose oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then I'll discuss on-site versus off-site management so that you learn how to maximize profitability on your unit and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. Then I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, now there are two different restaurants here on site at the Compass Cove Resort. We've got the Compass Rove, Compass Rose, which is just this way. That is where their big gigantic slide is. I'll get to that in a minute. If you do rent off-site, your guests are not allowed to use it, but it didn't stop our featured unit here from obviously making bank. I don't know if, okay, we can kind of peek in through here, kind of see. This is called the Compass Rose. It is a breakfast place. It's open 7 through 11 a.m. Well, we can't really get in, but you can take a peek as you see there. Now, there is another restaurant on the second floor, which we're going to get to in just a minute. I'm going to carry you around this way. You do have beach access right that way. I'm going to carry you around this way so that you can see kind of how the slides work. And again, your guest technically, when you self-manage, can't use this slide. Yeah, you have to have a certain wristband to be able to use it. But I would imagine you probably could use this pool. Now, this is where they access it. As you can see here, it stairs all the way up, takes you inside the slide, and it takes you inside of here. Comes out here, as you can see, and then you have a cool, lazy river, which I'll give you a nice little tour of. And of course, a pool over off in the distance. Now, Gosha Cook, in her investor interview, dropped a nugget of truth on us. Guys, if your occupancy rate hits 85% for the year, your prices are too low. So you need to raise those prices. And that pretty much wraps it up for this pool here. There we go. There we are. Now I'm going to take you just out back so you can get a nice view of some of the other amenities. All right, you got snack machines just this way. As you can see, elevator that way, just in between these little corridors here. Ta-da. Snack machines here. Drink machines. Plenty of activities. Check this out. This place is expansive and massive. You got a tiki bar just out here. Lots of fun if you want to drink. You got a nice outdoor deck here. Absolutely stunning. Guys, that is the Compass Cove Resort. Yes, you are beachfront. I mean, this place is nice, man. Now, of course, it could be higher end. It could have better finishes, but it gets the job done for many families that want to vacation here, those 20 to 22 million tourists. Now, you do have access through a gate just over this way, as you can see there. Those people just went through it. I'm going to take you this way. Showers here, beach access. Nice little cool place to sit out. I am going to take you this way. Battle through the gate. Give me a second. There we go. Plenty of places to lay out, as you can see. You've got a 1-foot kiddie pool here. You got a 3-foot relaxation pool here. Again, plenty of places to sit and lay out and get sun. And then you have another lazy river over here. Now it is October and it's already starting to warm up today. So I'm a little hot in this suit. There's a lazy river, as you can see. This here, as you can see. And it goes on even further, as you can see. Pretty cool place too. Tables, grills. You got showers, as you can see. And of course, plenty of places to lay out. Pools. And that's the other building there. Guys, that is Compass Cove. And it is all beachfront. And it is massive. Now, on-site versus off-site property management. Very simply, guys, you always want to self-manage. You do not want to hand your profits over to a property management company. Plus, if you're serious about building a robust portfolio, well, guys, guess what? You taking the helm and doing this the first year or two is going to provide you with the experience that you need in order to better understand your investment and your money. So that way, when you do hand it off to a property manager, you'll know what to look for if they're doing a good job or not. Additionally, no one's going to manage your property like you are. And I will tell you, if you're thinking to yourself that you don't have time because you have a full-time job and you can't handle anything else, then you're wrong. You need to get focused. You need to get self-disciplined. You need to get serious with yourself about your future and your retirement. Now, here's the deal. Matt Freeze owned 11 oceanfront condos, and he owns a mortgage brokerage. He's got a full-time day job and manages his oceanfront condos from his phone and his laptop. Gosha Cook owns 15 oceanfront condos, 2 commercial properties, and a long-term rental. Manages them. She leverages technology. She also owns a property management company and has 110 doors that she's responsible for. The point is that, very simply, lots of people are managing this type of rental right from their phone. They're syncing their calendar with their cleaning lady's calendar. And, you know, she's going and cleaning that unit. They're handling guests through automated text messages and emails right there on the platform. It is not rocket science. You can completely run this from your phone and your laptop. And you can be out of state. Matt Freeze is out of state. There are plenty of out-of-state investors that buy these condos and manage them all the time. Do I run into a lot of husband-wife couples that do this? Absolutely. If that's you, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, The bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront.
$20,000 on a purse.
You kept the goal in front of you the whole
Yes,
time.
this is more important.
Yeah.
I do like a car that I have, but that doesn't mean that I had to have it back then. That wasn't my priority.
Yeah.
But at some point, as our portfolio was growing and we were able to just buy what we like, then we're picking what we want, what options, and what color. Back then, if I found a good deal car, because it was time to change the car, that's what I was driving.
Absolutely.
But I didn't feel, I think deprived is the word that I was looking for. I didn't feel deprived back then. My standard of life was great for me back then.
And it's still great for you now.
For me
you kept
right
it
now.
balanced.
You have to evolve in life. If you're staying at the same level, I don't think I could.
It's not enjoyable at all. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, now what does your HOA fee include? Guys, it's going to include electric in the common area, water and sewer, trash pickup, elevator service, pool service, landscape lawn, insurance, manager, rec facilities, legal and accounting, primary antenna cable TV, common maintenance and repair, electric in the unit, long distance phone, internet access, and I did mention it includes insurance. Now, the insurance for the building is for the exterior part of the building. So if there's a storm or a flood or something gets messed up on the exterior part of the building, what are they going to do? Your HOA fee that you pay covers that portion of the insurance. Now, it just so happens that at Compass Cove, your HO6 insurance is covered through your HOA fee. So they have exterior building insurance, which is in the HOA fee, and they have HO6 insurance, which covers you stud to stud. Now, one thing that you want to make sure that you're careful of, you want to make sure that you have an HO6 policy that covers lost gross rental income in case they decide to do construction during those winter months and shut your floor down and you can't rent it out. You want to be able to collect. I was talking to Matt Freeze. Matt said to me that he had to file his HO6 policy because they were doing construction. And guess what? They asked him what his average gross rental income was for the year, and they paid him that in the winter months while the resort was busy doing construction and he couldn't rent his unit. So he actually made more money than he would have typically made in those winter months using his HO6 insurance. It's very, very important. HO6 covers you stud to stud. If a guest breaks something inside your unit, you're good. The exterior building insurance is also covered in your HOA fee, covers you in case there's a hurricane or a storm or damage to the exterior part of the building. It's that simple and that easy. It's routine history for investors in oceanfront condos. Seriously, they're not worried about storms. They're not worried about hurricanes. They're not worried about all these kinds of things. They're not worried about guests damaging their units. It's a business, and they run it like a business, and they're covered through their insurance both ways, both interior and exterior. Here are the attractions that create the strongest draw for your guests. Now, Barefoot Landing in North Myrtle Beach is a vibrant waterfront destination that seamlessly blends shopping, dining, and entertainment. Now, set along the Intercoastal Waterway, this expansive complex features over 100 specialty shops and boutiques, offering everything from fashion and accessories to unique gifts and coastal treasures. Culinary enthusiasts can indulge in a diverse array of restaurants, including the upscale Greg Norman Australian Grill, the lively Lulu's Beach Arcade and Ropes Course, and the family-friendly Crooked Hammock Brewery, known for its craft beers and relaxed atmosphere. Entertainment options abound with venues like the Alabama Theater, showcasing musical performances, and the House of Blues, hosting concerts and events. Now, families can explore attractions like Alligator Adventure, one of the largest reptile facilities in the world, or enjoy seasonal events like Summerfest and holiday fireworks. Whether you're seeking a leisurely stroll, a shopping spree, or an evening of live entertainment, Barefoot Landing offers a memorable experience for visitors of all ages. Broadway at the beach. It's another excellent tourist attraction. It's only 5 minutes away. Guys, it is 350 acres of fun. Let me tell you, fireworks shows and boat rides and Wonderworks and I mean, Wahlburgers and Dave & Buster's, and there's just so much to do. You don't want to miss it. They got a new area out there where the Hangout is, another great little restaurant. They've got golf you can play. I mean, like little putt-putt golf. It's a lot of fun. Now, the Greg Rouse Legacy Theater is a premier entertainment venue that offers a unique and intimate live performance experience. Founded by acclaimed entertainer Greg Rouse, the theater showcases a variety of shows, including the popular Music and Memories series, which features a world-class cast and band performing beloved songs from past decades. Each performance is 100% live and changes nightly, ensuring a fresh experience for returning guests. The theater has been recognized as WMBF's Best Show of the Grand Strand in 2024, highlighting its commitment to quality entertainment. With a seating capacity of 800, the venue provides an intimate setting that fosters a sense of community and connection between performers and the audience. In addition to its diverse musical offerings, the theater honors military personnel and first responders with special discounts, and during the summer offers promotions such as 2 free child tickets with the purchase of an adult ticket. The Greg Rouse Legacy Theater stands as a testament to Rouse's dedication to creating memorable, family-friendly entertainment that resonates with audiences of all ages. Pirates Voyage. Now, guys, they are doing acrobatics. It's a red team and a blue team of pirates, and they are jumping in the water. They are playing with fire. They are getting all of the guests involved. It is a dinner show. And while you're having dinner and they're serving you great food, they're getting you involved in what they're doing. It is a lot of fun. Your kids, your family is going to enjoy it so much. You don't want to miss the Pirates Voyage. The Alabama Theater, nestled in North Myrtle Beach, Barefoot Landing, has been a premier entertainment venue since its inception in 1993 by the renowned country music band Alabama. Celebrated as the #1 live entertainment theater in the area, it offers a diverse array of performances that captivate audiences of all ages. From February through October, the theater showcases its signature variety show, Iconic, a dynamic production featuring a blend of country, pop, rock, and Broadway hits, complemented by state-of-the-art visuals and choreography. As the holiday season approaches, the venue transforms to present the South's grandest Christmas show, a festive extravaganza filled with traditional and contemporary holiday music, dance, and comedy. Throughout the year, the Alabama Theater also hosts an impressive lineup of guest artists, including notable names like Josh Turner, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Jay Leno, ensuring a memorable experience for every visitor. With its commitment to high-quality performances and family-friendly atmosphere, the Alabama Theater remains a must-visit destination for those seeking top-tier entertainment in the Grand Strand region. The House of Blues in North Myrtle Beach, located at Barefoot Landing, is a premier entertainment venue that combines live music, Southern-inspired cuisine, and vibrant atmosphere. Established in 1997, this 59,000-square-foot facility features a 2-level music hall with a standing capacity of 3,500 and seating for 500 people, hosting a variety of concerts and events throughout the year. Now, the venue includes a restaurant and a bar that offers signature dishes like voodoo shrimp and jambalaya, alongside craft cocktails and an extensive beer selection. Additional spaces, such as the deck, provide outdoor seating with live music and happy hour specials. With its unique blend of music, food, and art, the House of Blues offers an unforgettable experience for visitors and locals alike. Now, same thing goes for medieval times. It is a dinner show with knights, and they're fighting, and there's swords, and There's horses, and they are having a blast out there getting you involved in that, in all that fun. Now, the Skywheel, a major Myrtle Beach landmark up the road. The Boardwalk and Promenade, another major landmark. Tanger Outlets, if you want to shop, that's where you want to go. Market Common. Now, Market Common is a city within a city. Guys, there's upscale shopping, White House Black Market, Southern Living. I mean, you name it, it's there. There's bookstores and movie theaters. They do all kinds of little festivals. Across the street is a $1.3 million playground called Savannah's Playground. You don't want to miss it. It's probably one of the most desirable places in our market to live. Now, Myrtle Beach International Airport, 15 minutes up the road. Let's get into golf. Dunes Golf and Beach Club. You got to go. It is luxury golf at its finest. You definitely want to check it out. It's right there oceanfront. Beautiful greens, an excellent place to play golf. Myrtlewood Golf Club, World Tour Golf Links, guys, is going to have holes from some of the best courses around the world. And of course, there's Top Golf. You do not want to miss Top Golf. Guys, there's individual lanes set up to go out, and it's a driving range. You have a blast. There's restaurants. They serve you food, friends, family. It's the kind of thing that you want to do. Get a group of your friends together and go out and hit that driving range. You won't regret it. It'll be a lot of fun. Again, only just a few minutes up the road. So, do you think the Myrtle Beach market is oversaturated with vacation rentals?
It's not oversaturated. The saturation has always been here. They can only build up. All right. There's not more beach. They've always been short-term rentals for the last, how many years?
Years and years and years and years and years. And I'm super glad that you said, it's not saturated, because they've always been here. Basically, this is not something new. This might be new to you as a viewer or new to you as an investor, but in our market, people have been doing short-term oceanfront rentals for years.
What's new is being able to cut out the middleman. You can cut out the front desk. You don't have to use on-site property management. You can use Airbnb, you use VRBO, and you can manage it yourself.
Yeah. Technology's really enabled you to cut out that middleman. So, I recently heard somebody talking about, the Airbnb market is on the downturn, doom and gloom. Well, guys, I don't foresee people not liking the beach anymore. It's like right. The mountains. Like, people like the mountains, people like the beach. That's not going to change. And as long as the ocean's still here and the oceanfront condos are still here, people are going to keep renting these just like they've done for years and years and years. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like it's, with the historical evidence that we have backing it up, in my opinion, it's a very safe investment for a proactive investor.
Right.
Yeah. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, I'm excited to talk to you about appreciation, guys. In 2015, if you would have bought the low unit that sold, one bedroom at Compass Cove, you'd have paid $102,500. You fast forward to 2025, that high unit sold for $268,000. That is $165,500 in appreciation. That's basically $16,550 a year, in addition to annual profits, in addition to being able to use it and save on your vacation expenses, in addition to the taxable income, the taxable write-offs. Guys, taxable income deductions, those tax write-offs. So you're winning multiple ways here. You're making annual profits, the property's appreciating, you're saving money on your vacation expenses, and you're getting tax write-offs. I mean, how can you lose with Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos if you know what you're doing? You can't. All right, guys, so what are other units doing here on site? Other one bedrooms, how much gross rental income are they making? Unit 1471, which is our subject unit in 2024, made $61,580. Quick caveat, last year in 2023, it made over $60,000. Now, unit 1267 in 2024 made $42,294.07. Unit 1157 in 2024 made $35,639. Unit 1452 in 2023 made $30,711. Unit 971 in 2024 made $31,692. Unit 144 in 2024, our lowest on the board, made $21,258. That's an average gross rental income of $37,196 and a variance, which is our highest, minus our lowest, of $40,322. Now, why do some units perform better than others? Well, very, very simply off the cuff, why are two CEOs different? You know, you've got two CEOs and they make completely different decisions. One drives the company straight up, makes it fly and soar. Another drives it straight into the dirt and it sinks. I can tell you that the people that are focused on their business, that are marketing it, that have, you know, possibly a strong sphere of influence, a good network to market it to, and that are putting in the daily grind work. Maybe they're going into Facebook travel groups and posting their listings. The people that are putting in the work get the most out of it. I see that people that self-manage pretty much 9 times out of 10, maybe 9.5 times out of 10, make more money than local property managers generally. Shout out to Big Fish Rentals, shout out to Gosha Cook. Those are two phenomenal property managers in our market. But the point is that not everybody puts the same amount of work into their unit. You can tell the people that are serious about it and that try hard and that really, really work hard and work smart, and they're learning and growing and shaking and moving. Those people make money. The people who buy it and pass it off to a property manager and forget about it, those are some of the lower numbers on the board. So now what makes for a strong self-management? I would say daily marketing on social media, knowing how to do that, being disciplined enough to schedule it, having a strong local network. If you've got a strong network of friends and family and you're well known in the community, you're going to have a much easier time marketing your oceanfront condo, and you're probably going to make a lot more money a lot faster and a lot easier. So I would say, you know, two big factors: have a strong sphere of influence, daily marketing, that discipline of putting that work in, and you can make your unit soar. Now, what's the secret about concierge services? All right, guys, well, the point is to have concierge services. I once had a client that was featured in Forbes magazine. She had a unit over at the Sea Mist Resort. She made $33,000 with this unit. It did have a nice jacuzzi jet tub. She offered these packages to her clients, and it drove the gross rental income of the unit up. You know, basically bathrobes on the bed, rose petals, towel swans, chocolate, a gift for him, a gift for her, you know, vacation packages, you know, and you could do them themed, of course, you know, for people on their honeymoon and stuff like that. It's an excellent offering. You set up a direct booking website. They go right to your website. You have 3 packages, a $500, a $1,000, a $1,500, and they all include more things. And for the convenience of all of it being planned, in other words, you bought tickets, you contacted your cleaning lady, you gave her $100, and you had her go by, you know, go and order all this stuff for you. You know, order tickets to Pirates Voyage for 2, dinner show. Order a gift, get a gift card to this restaurant here for 2. You know, get tickets to the country music festival. Get, you know, and all the little things, all the little different things that it'd be super simple and super easy that people want to go do in our market. Well, if you go ahead and take care of all of that, you've got it set up in a nice little envelope. It's sitting on the nightstand for them. It's on the counter as soon as they walk in. They've got a concierge experience, and they're going to have an excellent time on their vacation, and they're going to come back, and that's going to build repeat business year over year. And they didn't have to think about it. They didn't have to plan it. You send them an automated email. You signed up for package X. It includes this, 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 and this. We've already got your tickets. We got this. It's going to be on the nightstand for you, blah, 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 blah. Guys, it's simple and easy. And if you do 10 of those, At $1,500, we're talking about an extra $15,000 at the end of the year in gross rental income. And all you did was set up a direct booking website, put a web page up, a landing page with 3 different packages, let them choose one, let them process their credit card right there online. You just offered it to them in addition to their rental when they signed up on Airbnb. You told your cleaning lady, hey, here's $100, go and get all these things for me and leave them in the room for this guest. It's that simple and that easy, guys. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, do I buy this property as a second home, or do I buy it as an investment property? Well, guys, if you're going to use it, you might want to buy it as a second home. I'd say if you're going to use it 6 months out of the year, buy it as a second home. It's going to give you a cheaper interest rate, a lower down payment, but you can only rent it out 180 days out of the year. Now, if you're in the game to make money and you're not really going to use it, or you're going to use it just a few weekends or a few weeks out of the year, then you probably want to buy it as an investment property. It's going to be at least 20%, most likely 25% down. It's going to have a higher interest rate. The bank knows you're making money. They want to make money with you. And you can rent it out, 365 days a year. So you have no limits on renting it out. Now, if you buy it as a second home, it's got to be at least 75 miles from your primary residence. Additionally, you do have to occupy it at least 3 weeks out of the year. Now, remodeling your unit. Here's what investors do time and time again, guys. I see it all the time. I help investors do it. They use my contractors. It's so simple. It's so easy, and it applies to more than just oceanfront condos. It applies to real estate in general. People buy underperforming assets, properties, fix them up, and sell them. That's a fix and a flip. It's not rocket science. It's very logical. It's very simple. You buy a property that's ran down, you put some money into it, you sell it for more than you bought it for, and more than the remodel cost. It's the same principle that you're doing here, except for you're just renting it out first for a few years while you hold it, and then you turn around and sell it. Now, you always want to buy the underperforming asset with the ugly carpet, the horrible countertops, the one that's ran down and looks disgusting. You want to buy that one. You want to put some money into it. I won't say always. If you're using financing and you can find one that's remodeled, it's most likely a smarter move. But for the most part, the strategy is simple. You buy an underperforming asset, you remodel it, and then you rent it out. You design it with all the top-notch design touches of the top 5% Airbnb properties that are on the market. You make sure that you're better than all the competition. An accent wall with a fireplace and a mantle. You got popping, contrasting colors that catch people's eyes and attention on Airbnb. It has a very modern and a very trendy look. Listen, there's a game that you've got to play when you're attracting guests and rentals. You can't make the property look like whatever your tastes are and expect it to perform like a top 5%. You're catering to the masses. You're catering to a specific demographic, a specific audience. And there are key elements, like you want to have desk in the room for the kids. You want to have a little game station. You want to have a telescope by the balcony to drink wine and watch the stars. You want to advertise all that stuff in your listing. You want to have a coffee station for the mornings when they wake up. There's certain elements to this that really work, guys. And if you do it, you make great money. Yvonne, a client of mine, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. I can't stop talking about her. She bought an oceanfront condo for almost $600,000, a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom over at Ocean Reef. She remodeled it. She had it off the market for at least 2.5 months. When she bought the condo, it was making $104,400 in her first 12 months. Remember, she had it off the market for 2.5 months. So that means in less than 12 months, technically, 8.5 months, 9.5 months, whatever. Guess what? She made $140,000 in gross rental income and cleared $30,000 profit. She increased her gross rental income by $36,000 just her first year. She recouped the entire remodel plus some. Was it worth it to remodel the property? Absolutely. Is she already halfway there for a cash out refi? You better believe it. She's already improved the property. Now she's just got to wait a few years and let it appreciate and pull the money out of it, and she can go buy another one. Now, anyways, the point is the remodels work, guys. The top-notch products perform. It gets you winter rentals during the winter months. It makes you stand out and take market share, and you can charge a whole lot more money for a much larger and nicer condo that is in high demand. It's that simple and that easy. 1031 like-kind exchange, a very, very hot topic and one that many investors are interested in. Yes, you can do them with oceanfront condos. A 1031 exchange, named after Section 1031 of the IRS code, allows real estate investors to defer paying capital gains taxes when they sell an investment property, as long as they reinvest the proceeds into a like-kind property of equal or greater value within a specific time frame. The key rules include identifying the replacement property within 45 days and closing on it within 180 days of the sale. Now, this strategy helps investors grow their portfolios more efficiently by deferring taxes and leveraging their equity. But it requires careful planning and the use of a qualified intermediary to handle the transaction. Guys, I have a qualified intermediary for you that I would like to introduce to you to help facilitate your 1031 like-kind exchange. It's that simple and that easy. If you're interested in purchasing properties and you're concerned about capital gains tax, this is a viable strategy that many investors use to build wealth. Get in contact with me. It's 843-360-1737, and I can help you with that 1031 like-kind exchange. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. Now let's talk through low HOAs versus high HOAs. Let's talk through special assessments and kind of the correlation and how this all plays out. Now first-time investors generally want a low HOA resort because they feel like it's less risk. I'm going to completely debunk that for you in just a minute. So I had a client ask me, well, how do I avoid getting hit with a bunch of special assessments? And she was basically working through the understanding that when you have an HOA that has a super low fee, most likely they're not setting aside money in reserves. In fact, most likely they're probably not running the business portion of the HOA well. They're not building up a cushion in case things happen and they need to fix it. Now, generally the higher HOAs are at resorts that have healthy businesses, and they're collecting, instead of setting aside every month when you pay your HOA dues, they are collecting reserves. Now, those reserves will go to take care of, most likely, items that need to be fixed and are repaired on site. Now, would you rather pay $50 or $100 a month towards the reserves in your HOA payment, maybe even $150 a month? Or would you rather get hit with a $15,000 special assessment? In my opinion, it's smarter to pay it incrementally. It's not such a big blow. It's already accounted for, and they're setting money aside in the reserves so that they don't have to issue you a special assessment. With a lower HOA fee, they're going to issue you special assessments anytime something breaks or needs to be fixed. Is it better to have a low HOA fee and get hit with multiple assessments throughout the year or a few years in a row that eat through your profits, or just to go ahead and invest in a place that has a higher HOA fee that is putting aside money in reserves to take care of those things so that you don't have to have special assessments over and over and over again each and every year. So, in my opinion, it is more risk, in my opinion, it is more risk to purchase a lower tier oceanfront condo at a lower tier resort with lower HOA fees. It is because there's a lot more competition in the lower end of the market. Those smaller units, there's a huge supply of them. They don't appreciate as well, so there's nothing to really carry you through on the back. If you have a lean year or you get a bunch of special assessments or something hits you, there's nothing really to carry you through if you don't make a lot of profits on the smaller oceanfront condos, as opposed to the larger oceanfront condos that appreciate much better, and they can carry you through some of those lean years. Over the lifetime of the investment, you are still okay if you have a few years where you only make $5,000 profit, $10,000 profit, whatever, on those larger oceanfront condos, $15,000 profit on those leaner years, because they appreciate so well on the back end. It carries you through. You don't have that cushion with a smaller oceanfront condo. I ran numbers, I think it was over at the Dunes Village, on a guy, he was selling his condo. If he would have sold it as asking price, we're looking at $54,000 in appreciation while he owned that condo a year. That's substantial appreciation. As where the smaller oceanfront condos don't appreciate nearly as well, you'd be lucky to get $100,000. Or you'd be doing well at $100,000 appreciation for owning it, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, versus owning a larger oceanfront condo for 10 years and you're getting $300,000 in appreciation. So there's a lot more cushion in the appreciation aspect of it that's going to carry you overall. If you look at everything, the annual profits, and appreciation combined, if you look at both, there's a lot more cushion in those larger oceanfront condos. So, thinking through risk, people at low tier or resorts that are afraid of high HOA fees, and they think they justify it in their mind going, I'm taking less risk by buying something that's cheaper because it's less money out of pocket that I have to spend. Technically, they're positioning themselves to have the highest amount of competition, to have the lowest amount of hedge and appreciation, and to get hit with lots of special assessments. Because their HOA is not setting money aside in the reserve account. Now you tell me what sense that makes, buying a low-tier oceanfront condo with a low HOA fee, all because you're afraid to take on more risk. You're technically taking on more risk. All right, so if you have a 401k and you have retirement funds, but not enough to live off of, which many Americans are in that boat, because a 401k was never designed for you to retire off of. It was an account for executives to be able to stash away some extra cash, and it got turned into a quote-unquote retirement account. But there's generally, unless you have a ridiculous amount of money in that 401k, it's not going to be enough money for you to retire on. This is where Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos, real estate investing, comes into play. Because you've got money in your account that you can be putting in hard assets that generate great annual profits, that appreciate, and that give you tax write-offs. And that's going to happen a lot faster than what you can do in the stock market. Now, or even with bonds, or even with long-term rentals. Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos are one of the best investments in the market. Now, 401k non-recourse loans. A non-recourse loan against a 401k is used when purchasing real estate within the 401k itself, typically through a self-directed solo 401k plan. In this setup, the 401k account, not the individual, purchases the property, not the individual, not the person, but the 401k purchases the property. And a non-recourse loan is used because IRS rules prohibit personal guarantees on 401k owned investments. Now, a non-recourse loan means the lender can only seize the property if there's a default. They cannot go after the investor's personal assets or the rest of the 401k funds. Now, this allows investors to leverage their retirement funds to buy real estate while keeping the investment compliant with IRS rules. However, only the 401k benefits from the investment returns. The annual profits you're making, you can't touch. It's got to go back into the 401k. It can't go into your personal account. And strict rules around prohibited transactions must be followed to avoid penalties. Guys, I just helped a client purchase an oceanfront condo at Dunes Village, a place that is infamous for gross rental income in our market, with a 401k non-recourse loan. It's a very smart move, guys, and you should get started now building that nest egg up. Absolutely. If you do not have enough money to retire on because you're planning on living longer, because your lifestyle demands it, then you need to get in contact with me so that I can get you in contact, and you have a 401k, of course, so that I can get you in contact with a qualified person that can do a 401k non-recourse loan for you. My cell phone's 843-360-1737. Give me a call and let me help you out. Those retirement years could be a whole lot better, and you could be living in a lot more comfort if you had that extra $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in profit coming in passively from an asset like an oceanfront condo. Now guys, lots of people are concerned about HOAs. HOAs protect the appreciation aspect of your investment. You know, ultimately, the HOA consists of people that own at that particular resort, and they don't want to pay any of those high HOA fees or any more fees than they have to pay. However, they have enough sense to know that if they don't maintain the property and take care of it well, that the property is going to lose value, and the tourists are not going to continue to rent that property any longer. If that happens, the money that you're counting on in appreciation at the end of the investment when you go to sell it is gone. And that's what you don't want. The appreciation is an excellent builder of wealth. Additionally, it serves as a hedge in case you don't do as well renting your property out. Now, of course, I don't want that for you. I don't expect that for you. If you follow the channel, then you're learning all the things to do. If we've had a few conversations, I'm telling you what to do. So HOAs protect the investment. They protect that appreciation aspect of your property, and when you go to resell it, you're going to be really happy that you had an HOA. Now, investors often are concerned about higher HOA fees. Well, most of the time, the best resorts have the highest HOA fees. They have higher HOA fees. You do not let the HOA fee determine where you invest your money. You let the upside, you let the gross rental income, you follow the money, you follow the cash. It's horrible to allow fear of not having enough and you're not going to be able to make the payment, you're afraid the HOA is too high, to be the determinant as to where you invest. You know, not everybody is successful at investing. A lot of people think that way. Fear is what's driving their decision. Fear is not a smart investment strategy. I wouldn't let it be in the driver's seat if I was you. And you can't. You got to look at the units that are top performing, and you've got to go to those resorts. You got to check out the inventory and the products that are currently on the market, and you've got to invest where you've got upside and potential, where you can make money, because the whole point of this is to make money. You don't invest in a place with a low HOA fee at a low tier resort that doesn't have a really strong brand name. A lot of people don't know about it, and hardly anyone wants to rent there. In my opinion, it's just not a smart strategy. Why would you cap yourself at a place, let's say that, you know, has units, they're making $30,000 a year gross income, when you could be at a place that's making $90,000 or $100,000 a year, and you're putting $30,000 a year in profit in your pocket, all because you weren't intimidated by an HOA fee. And by the way, the tourists that rent the condo pay the fees. And if you're doing it well, and you've watched the interview with Matt Freeze, at least one of them, he plainly said that he owns, you know, at the time I interviewed him, he owned 11 oceanfront condos. Guys, he plainly says, June, July, and August, he makes enough money on his condos to pay all the bills for the whole year. So what are you worried about? What are you afraid about? Don't let that HOA fee intimidate you and stop you. Invest where you can make money and build wealth. It requires risk to build wealth. That's how it works. Let's talk about doing a cash out refi. Guys, the real estate strategy Using a cash out refinance involves pulling equity from your first investment property after it has appreciated in value or you've paid down the mortgage, and using those funds as a down payment for your next property. Now here's how it works. You buy your first property, you improve it or hold it over time, and once it gains enough equity, you refinance it for more than you currently owe. You take the difference in cash, tax deferred, and use it to buy your second property. You repeat the process, improve, refinance, reinvest, and you create a snowball effect of portfolio growth without needing to come up with new capital for each deal. Now, this method lets investors scale rapidly, but it requires good credit. Strategic property selection, that's where I come in, and you got to get the property selection right, because if not, you're shooting yourself in the foot, you're stifling that snowball effect. If you don't get this one right and it doesn't have solid financials, you might not get approval for the next condo or the cash out refi. Or anyways, the point is you want to make sure you get the right property. Now, strong cash flow is going to be important, and discipline to avoid over leveraging. You do not want to over leverage. So guys, it's very simple and very easy. Lots of people buy oceanfront condos using a cash out refi, either on their primary residence. They'll pull, a few $100,000 out of their home. Of course, their mortgage goes up a little bit, $1,100, $1,200, depending upon how much money they pull out. And they purchase an oceanfront condo, or they do a cash out refi on the oceanfront condo that they bought their first one. It's that simple and that easy. It does create a snowball effect. Once you buy a property, improve it, and it appreciates, and you've paid down that mortgage, of course, you're going to pull that cash out and buy another oceanfront condo. Well, you wait 3 or 4 more years. Now you've got 2 oceanfront condos that you can employ this same strategy with. You do it to both of them. Now you bought 2 more and you have 4 oceanfront condos. Well, yes, you can do it again. 4 more years goes by, you improve properties, you pay out all those profits you're making on the oceanfront condo rentals into the mortgage, and guess what you do? You buy 4 now. Now you got 8 oceanfront condos. So it creates a snowball effect, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, that nest egg, allowing you to really build some substantial wealth over time. It's a very viable strategy. If you're interested in learning more about it, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. And now, it is the moment you have been waiting for, and one of the most exciting parts of the video. Let's break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. And then I'll give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, so let's work through a cash scenario purchase right here at the Compass Cove. Again, that purchase price was $274,000. Your gross rental income was $61,580. Your Airbnb platform fee was $1,126.91. Now, that was 61% of the gross rental income that came in for the unit came from Airbnb. Your VRBO platform fee of 8% was $1,921.30. Now that was 39% of the gross rental income that came in for the unit. If you make $61,580, you take out $1,126.91. You also take out $1,921.30. You are left with a gross rental income subtotal to the tune of $58,538.79. Now your property tax estimate, there's a 4% rate and a 6% rate. If you go to the Horry County website, the assessor's office, they have a tax estimator. Anytime you buy an investment property, you are going to be taxed at that 6% rate. I used your purchase price for the value, and it gave us a $4,185.62 estimated property taxes. Now that is for the year. That is not for the month. People actually ask that question, yes. Excise tax was $499. Now that is going to be for your use in the police department and the fire department. It is, in part to have a city of Myrtle Beach business license. It's a $145 base fee for your first $2,000 in gross rental income. Then it's $6 for every $1,000 that you make in gross rental income after that. $499 on this deal. Your local hospitality and accommodations tax was $1,847.40. That's actually 1.5% to the city of Myrtle Beach of the gross rental income, and 1.5% to Horry County of the gross rental income that you make. Personal property taxes, $554.22. You are going to have to pay personal property taxes on any investment property that you buy here on your furnishings in the unit. Your annualized HOA dues were $11,160. Guys, that is a whopping $930 a month. It is a cheaper HOA. It is a cheaper HOA. It's a solid HOA. I like it. Now, your operating expense subtotal was $18,246.24. If you subtract that from the gross rental income subtotal up top of $58,531.79, yes, you are left with a projected profitability to the tune of $40,285.55. That is a cash-on-cash return of 15%. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, I didn't include your cleaning cost in this because most likely you're going to make a profit off your cleaning costs. It's really a pass-through expense that comes to the guest in the Airbnb platform. You're going to charge a cleaning fee. You're most likely going to have your cleaner, their charge is going to be less than what you charge your guest. Therefore, you'll turn a profit every time you clean the unit. If your cleaner charges you $100 and you charge your guest $150, you're going to pocket $50 profit every time you clean that unit. So I didn't list it in the operating expenses. Your HO6 is included in the HOA fee. Your electricity, internet, insurance, and pest control is also included in the HOA fee. Therefore, there is both exterior and interior insurance in that HOA fee. Again, that HOA fee was $930 per month. Your Airbnb gross rental income on this unit was $37,563.80. Your VRBO gross rental income was $24,016.20. Where can you make a 15% cash-on-cash return? I know where, right here at the Compass Cove in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. All right, so let's work through a financing scenario purchase right here at the Compass Cove Resort for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. That purchase price was $274,000. Your down payment, $68,500. That's going to be 25% of the purchase price. Now, your gross rental income was $61,580. Your Airbnb platform fee was $1,126.91. Your VRBO platform fee was $1,921.30. If you make $61,580 and you take out $1,126 for Airbnb and take out $1,921 for VRBO platform fees, you are left with a gross rental income subtotal of $58,531.79. Now, your principal and interest on this property was $16,404. That does assume a 7% interest rate over a 30-year fixed rate loan. Again, that property tax estimate was $4,185.62. Excise tax was $499. Local hospitality and accommodations tax $1,847.40. Personal property taxes $554.22. Annualized HOA dues at $11,160. Guys, that brings you to an operating expense subtotal of $34,650.24. If you take that $34,000 from that $58,000 gross rental income subtotal up top, yes, you are left with a projected profitability if you self-manage of $23,881.55. And even if you were to pass this off to a property manager with a 20% split, guys, that's still $12,692.46 you are making in profit. Not bad, not bad. Guys, that's a cash-on-cash return of 35%. Now, you might be wondering, why is the cash-on-cash return higher for a financing scenario purchase as opposed to a cash, an all-out cash purchase? Well, guys, you're only putting that down payment in. You're putting $68,500 in as opposed to putting all of the money, that $274,000 into this deal. And you're getting out, if you self-manage, $23,000. That's a 35% cash-on-cash return after using the bank's money. Where can you put $68,500 and in the first year walk away with $23,000, almost $24,000? I know exactly where. Right here at the Compass Cove in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. All right, depreciation. How much can I get for tax write-offs on owning and operating an oceanfront condo right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina? We're going to work through your depreciation. Now, the IRS says that real estate has a useful life, residential real estate, of 27.5 years. That technically means that after 27.5 years, it wouldn't really have any value, but we know that real estate really doesn't ever lose its value. Now, of course, unless you trash the place. So how does it work? What's my taxable income deduction. You take that purchase price of $274, you divide it by 27.5 years, and it gives you a straight line deduction to the tune of $9,963.64. What does that mean? That means that the IRS is allowing me to make $9,963.64 that I'm not having to pay taxes on. Well, what is this for? What is depreciation? Depreciation is wear and tear on that unit. All right, so they give you a write-off for depreciation, and it also includes something called economic obsolescence. That is that as newer oceanfront condos hit the market, the older stuff loses their value. Now, you can do something called a cost segregation study, and that's where you find a CPA that specializes in cost segregation. It's where you accelerate depreciation and you write off a much larger amount in that first year, maybe in that second year. For all you high income earners, it is a very viable strategy. I had a client, Yvonne, who bought a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom oceanfront condo. Yes, she brought in $140,000 her first year renting it out, and she did a cost segregation study on it. She got a tax refund of $34,000, yes, in her first year. So if you need a CPA that specializes in cost segregation study, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. Let's just really quick break down property taxes for you guys. There's a 4% rate and there is a 6% rate. The 4% is for primary residence. The 6% is for investment properties and non-residents. So if you buy an investment condo, you are going to be taxed at that 6% rate. You can go to the Horry County Assessor's website and pull up this tax estimator and fill it out very easily, very simply. It'll give you all these numbers that you see on your screen. And finally, guys, let's work through your market report for 1-bedrooms right here at the Compass Cove Resort. Guys, 14 units sold in the last 6 months. Your low sold for $110,000. Your average sold for $159,664. Your high sold for $268,000. It's that simple and that easy. Now you're probably wanting to know, what are the top 5 oceanfront condo resorts in Myrtle Beach, or in the market period? Well, in the market period, I found one at Sea Marsh last year. The place only has 1 pool. It's not like a super nice place, but the guy had the right design elements on the unit. He made $90,000 in gross rental income on his unit. In my estimation, he cleared $24,000 profit. He's just got a well-designed unit, you know, and the place is standard. It doesn't have major amenities, doesn't have crazy draws. It's got an $847 a month HOA, a low HOA, but guess what? He crushed it because of the design element on the unit. It's that simple and that easy, guys. Nothing special, nothing hidden. Sea Marsh, it's up there. Ocean Reef, Yvonne, she's up there. 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Caribbean, 1-bedroom, made $72,000 in gross rental income. Let me see here. Dunes Village, by far, absolutely. The majority of their units consistently outperform the rest of the market. Their ocean view units perform better than probably most oceanfront units elsewhere because they have an indoor water park and you can rent the unit out 12 months out of the year due to that indoor water park. It is a sustainable competitive advantage. Dunes Village continues to be one of the top performers in the market. I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom that made $103,000 over there. Definitely killing it. I found a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. It's under contract now. Made $124,000. I mean, like, Dunes Village, definitely. Finally, I'd say Oceans 1 or Resort. I found a unit over there, a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom that made $109,000. Yes, Oceans 1 over in the south end of the beach. I know a lot of investors are skeptical about it, but guys, people are making money there to the tune of $109,000. We're talking, you know, $29,000 profit. So that's my top 5. If you want to know more, get in contact with me, have a conversation with me, call me, guys. I really enjoy hearing from you guys. It's 843-360-1737. Send me a text message, shoot me an email, jump on a live Zoom call with me, ask me your questions, and let's get you somewhere into this investing game that you really want to be in, building wealth and securing a great future for you and your family. Well, that wraps it up for Compass Cove Resort. Stop letting fear hold you back. The number one thing I hear from investors I interview is they wish they would have started sooner. They wish they would have started earlier. Your time is against you in the investment game. You've got to start. you got to take the plunge. Get over your fear. Stop listening to multiple voices. You know, you're reading blogs over here, you're reading Bigger Pockets over here, you got all kinds of stuff going on in your head. You don't know where any of it fits. It's all organized around different goals. So yes, it holds true, but it might not hold true for your particular interest or the investment vehicle you're wanting to pursue, like an oceanfront condo. Some things in long-term rentals don't hold true for short-term vacation rentals. It's two different things. So yes, all of it sounds great on the surface, but it can't necessarily all be applied the same way. You need to find one voice, one person you trust, one person you're following, one person that you're learning from. Get in contact with me, pick up the phone, send me a text message, shoot me an email, hop on a Zoom call with me, and let's work through your questions, the hurdles, the numbers. Don't sit on the sidelines. You'll only regret it, and I don't want that for you. 843-360-1737.